You do sell your soul. You are allowed to live forever. No idea that these people still live. They will pray, haunt, anything to stay on top.
Mar-a-Lago, on the second attempt, the Secret Service guy sees the rifle barrel sticking out the bushes, sees the guy moving, let off his entire clip, and missed. He missed every shot. That's not fake, boy. It's going down.
The signs, you can see them everywhere, but most people never know they even connected. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to see, and you'll never unsee it again. Welcome back, Global Mafia. You know we got another compilation of non-mainstream news, non-biased compilation theories and information we just gonna get right to the middle of. Let's get to this truth. Hit that sub button, hit that like button, most importantly on the way in, and we're gonna get right to it.
Global TV subscribe.
Dinner.
Kerry's saying this.
And he says, Obama put his arm around my shoulder and he said, John, if you endorse me and if you do it before the Kennedys do it, Secretary of State. And he says, I got screwed out of it. I was supposed to be Secretary of State. So I'm in the front row and I'm going like this.
To him?
Yeah, like discreetly. Like you're off topic and this is not an issue you should be talking about in public. So afterwards he says, I know I shouldn't have said that story. I know and I said, Bill Richardson has exactly the same story. I said, Barack Obama promised half a dozen people that they would be Secretary of State. That's the kind of person he is. He duped all of you guys.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's not like he was telling Bill's story. It's that Obama told this to a bunch of people and didn't keep the promise.
Nope. He lied to everybody.
Hasn't retired. They are coming to collect. Do you really think he wants to be out there playing at 41 years of age? Now, he's playing great. He's playing fucking amazing. I did not think they'd be up 3-1 on the Rockets. And I hope they beat the Rockets. He's been playing great. This last, 3 weeks have made me switch my stance. I think he's the GOAT, not Jordan. But, you're not the face of the NBA for over 15 years without sacrificing something. Before he was the face, Kobe was the face. Look what happened to Kobe. Before Kobe, it was Jordan. We all know what Jordan had to go through when he took a year off, and we all know what happened to his father. Before Jordan, it was Magic. We all know the humiliation that he had to go through, being exiled from the league, basically sacrificing 4 years of his prime, being clowned on. They're coming to collect. As simple as that. We've seen his chest tattoo. We know who his masters are. Why do you think he was giving such sheepish answers during the All-Star break when they asked him about retirement, saying, I just want to live. I just want to be around. They're coming to collect, sadly.
Apollo and all that.
7th Avenue and 125th Street is also better known as Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. You come right down here to Dallas, Texas, 4th Avenue and Hall Street is the most dangerous part of what's known as South Dallas. 4th Avenue and Hall Street are better known as Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. And the same is true in Memphis, and the same is true in Houston, and the same is true in Atlanta, and the same is true in LA, and the same is true in Detroit, and the same is true in DC, and everywhere else where there's a black populace, where they gave us a Martin Luther King and a Malcolm X. They made sure to make sure that it was below the freeway on the eastern side of town. So south of the freeway, east of everything that they're building, is Martin Luther King and Malcolm X.
It feels like a game they playing on us, man. It feels like
the name of the game is gentrification.
The blueprint for gentrification was embedded where I'm from, where I grew up at, where I got my perspective and narratives from, in the Bay Area. They set the blueprint down like no other. I didn't even know that word was still being used.
Saudi Arabia, after 9/11, we didn't go there. They controlled too much oil, regardless if most of the hijackers were from Saudi. We didn't touch them. We flew the bin Laden family out in the beginning after 9/11 happened. Yeah. We put them on planes and flew them to safety. We flew Saudis out to safety, but we went to Afghanistan and Iraq. And from my experience in Afghanistan, some dudes in caves did all that. They were not that great when I fought them. They were good, but not pulling off one of the greatest heists of all times of terrorist attacks, of flying, I don't know.
I do believe
we're not watching real people. I do believe people have been replaced.
Yeah, there's definitely some weird things that have gone. I would say over the last, year and a half to 2 years, I noticed more and more people where I'm like, huh, interesting. They look weird. You know, we already went through the Jim Carrey one.
It's not him. I don't care what you say. It's not him. But then if you just look at the comments, you will see who truly is awake, who truly is so far off the mark.
In this industry, what you must understand is, when you do sell your soul, you are allowed to live forever. And these people that are called youngins, like I was, had no idea that these people still live. They will prey, haunt, kidnap, anything to stay on top. This is their world. They have nothing but time, is what they believe. The art of exchanging spirits, trading spirits.
And then when they do die, they can move their consciousness from their decaying body, from their dead, body to a new clone of themselves. They can basically, they can harness and control and transport the informational bundle that is a soul from one piece of hardware to another, or wetware to another. They know how to do this, and this is why, like, in all the human myths about Apollo and Aphrodite and whatever, Zeus himself, these gods seem like they live forever. They always look the same, and whereas humans are, being born and dying generation after generation, these Nordics these gods always look the same, because first of all, their lifespans are thousands of our years per body, and then also they can move their consciousness into clones of themselves. So yeah, it's exactly as you describe it. It's
100% without a doubt. We would consider that science fiction maybe 5, 8 years ago, 10 for sure. Today, facts are for sure stranger than fiction, and you really never know what's truth at this point. It's been NCIA documents. They've been trying to collect consciousness forever. You don't think they figured it out by now? I don't know.
The White House, this one's gonna get you, trust me. A random X account created in December 2023 has just one single tweet ever posted that very same month. That tweet being just the name Cole Allen. The exact name of the suspected White House shooter that was apprehended during the Correspondents' Dinner in the Washington Hilton on April 25th, 2026. And that's not even the crazy part. This is where it gets absolutely wild. Because the name of the account that posted this is Henry Martinez, an engineer who worked at Lockheed Martin developing the Orion spacecraft, so he was dealing with some highly classified, super high-tech stuff on a regular basis. Cole Allen, the suspected shooter, actually interned at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in 2014, the same year in which NASA published a research paper out of Goddard Space Flight Center in which Lockheed Martin's Henry Martinez was the primary author of. He co-authored this paper for NASA the same year that Cole Allen worked at NASA, and then 9 years later he randomly tweets his name with no context. Now, Henry Martinez's X account also has this cryptic banner on top that comes from a website called, get ready for this, Time Machine. And the image is said to hold a striking resemblance to a certain event that happened in 2024. Yeah, that. Everyone online is going crazy about this, some even claiming they can't unsee it. The original image was created in 2021, and that Butler, Pennsylvania attempt happened 3 years later in 2024. Now, a year earlier in 2023, that same image was used as a cover photo by an artist named Chocolate for a song called 4 Chargers. 4, like the number of people in the photo it supposedly represents. Henry Martinez hasn't made any other posts since, and in fact hasn't even been heard of since, leading many to believe that he's another one of those missing scientists, and don't worry, I'll be talking about that very soon. His profile pic is internet meme Pepe the Frog wearing a tux and drinking wine from a glass, and well, yeah, okay, that one's kind of reaching. But it is rather odd that world-famous mentalist Oz Perlman was performing some sort of magic trick to Trump and Melania just seconds before the shots were fired. And a day before the incident, there was allegedly a spike in search terms for the full name of the suspect, Cole Thomas Allen, coming out of Iran, which Google has since scrubbed and removed. For argument's sake, let's just say these are fake. Now, the theory is that Henry Martinez was working on classified projects at Lockheed involving UAP propulsion and, well, time travel, which is why he disappeared just shortly after tweeting the name of the show back in 2023, dropping us a little hint of this incident that was going to happen 3 years later. But what do you think? Why is it that every bit of news that drops these days always seems to have some sort of theory that kind of feels, I don't know, somewhat plausible?
Global mafia, we have to remember, nothing is by accident, nothing is by mistake. They're not letting us talk about these things freely on these platforms for no reason. What agenda they have coming up, I have no idea. Just keep your head on the swivel and be prepared for everything.
G.E. Kincaid, who explored the Grand Canyon, this is the early 1900s, he was rowing down the Colorado River and he finds a hole in the side of the canyon. And inside he finds basically the remains of an ancient city, artifacts, a giant statue that kind of looks like Buddha, but not quite, hieroglyphics that kind of look Egyptian, but not quite. And he comes out and he's putting together an expedition, and when it's time to go back, he never shows up. And that story was in the papers. What bothers me about that one is that you can find that opening in the Grand Canyon and it's covered with an iron gate, a no-go zone. But when you do go there, suddenly white planes will appear and black helicopters will appear. And eventually they're park rangers, and nobody will tell us why.
In the mid-30s, which I know this for a fact, 33 to 34, was the lowest that this lake has ever been. And he went out into the lake and found mounds out there that were covered with pitch, so that if the water would get on them, it would be sealed. They were covered with pitch. He chipped through one of them, explains it in there, chipped through one of them, saw that it was hollow, and so he chipped an air hole for the air to get in and escape out the others so he wouldn't asphyxiate in it. Dropped in there, and he only dropped about 4 feet till he hit the floor. Got in there, and there were seven cadavers in there, that they were all facing the center of the room, and there was about an 18-inch box that was in the center of the room that they were all facing. And the shortest cadaver was over 8 feet tall, and the tallest one was almost 10 feet.
When Kennedy was assassinated, the day of, they swapped out his entire Secret Service team. Then he was assassinated. Same thing happened to Trump that day. His whole Secret Service detail was swapped out that day. Remember, you seen the video of the lady who couldn't get her pistol out and she couldn't get her weapon back in the holster? They scrambling everywhere. Those people was never on that detail. He can't swap it out himself. At Mar-a-Lago on the second attempt when they tried to kill him.
Yeah.
The Secret Service guy sees the rifle barrel sticking out the bushes, sees the guy moving, let off his entire clip and missed. He missed every shot. That's not fake, boy. It's going down. It's going down. It's cracking for him, and he knows it.
Crazy.
There's autonomous driving forklifts. There's autonomous driving electric pallet jacks. There are what we call dark warehouses. That warehouse 20 years ago, 10 years ago, should have had 300-400 employees. They have 30. Their inventory is done by drones. All their robots that pick their crates are all automated. They look like Roombas. They come in, and that's it. That's all. They cut their workforce by at least 90% through technology, through robotics. We're not far off from doing that here. It's just a matter of time and money.
For AI to take over situations like that, all I think it takes is the right amount of budget, infrastructure, boom. 90% improvement, no business can turn that down. It used to be temp agencies for people to get moved in and out of warehouses, rollover jobs. Won't be like that no more.
Go and pay your utilities, you are compounding the national debt. Do you realise that? I don't think you realise that. You think, you're kind of laughing at me thinking, oh, this guy's a nut.
No, I'm not laughing.
Yeah, you must understand, brother. You must understand. Every time you use that cash, that is blood money.
Stop
Federal Reserve notes. Has anyone got a note?
Are you worried about going to jail? Are you worried about going to jail?
I'm a live man. I don't go to jail. They can put Mr. Sando Bonacci in jail if they want to. See that? Read here, folks. Read here. Legal tender. This is not money. This is useless debt note, and it's blood money owned by the Rothschilds. One family, friends, learn how to pay, make promissory notes, and discharge your debt with proper promissory notes. These are legal tender.
There's only one scientist that was present on the military plane.
This is Luis Alvarez, played by Alex Wolff. He was actually there for the Hiroshima mission to
Right.
measure the blast yield. So
Right.
he was on the observation plane.
Yes.
When the Enola Gay dropped the bomb.
In the recent book, I believe it's called Nuclear War Scenario by
Mhm.
Annie Jacobson, who basically interviewed a lot of the staff and former both intelligence, military, and scientists in and around the nuclear infrastructure we currently have today.
Yeah.
Referenced, we don't really have a lot of data on the impacts of the dropping of a nuclear or atomic weapon on like a highly populated area. And there was only one scientist that was present on the military plane that was able to actually look at that scientific data, Luis Alvarez.
Yep, and that's Luis Alvarez.
And it's all still super classified
Yeah.
and yada, yada, yada. It's,
Entertainment purposes only. YouTube, I don't know what I'm talking about. But allegedly, I'm not sure if we even possess the power of an end. I'm not sure if anybody possesses the power of an end. When they say they happened, they say that was multiple explosions. It wasn't just one large bomb.
Oh, CERN turned on its biggest machine yesterday? Oh, that's incredible. Yeah, you heard that right. CERN powered up its biggest machine and it's opening up portals, which I think it's already done before. But now the scientists and people working there are admitting to it. Oh, exciting. They're coming out flat out saying that entities are coming out of the portals there and then going back in and coming out and staying here and not going back in. So it's so fun. I wonder if this has anything to do with all the videos of all the stars moving around in the sky. Huh. I also wonder if it has anything to do with the government saying aliens are real, as well as saying that a certain group called the Anunnaki will be coming back soon to Earth. Okay.
Early in the plot of that movie, people kept saying, I'm following all the rules, but my life feels empty. It feels meaningless. You and I are old enough to remember The Matrix. That movie was about a mechanical artificial intelligence that was sucking out their attention, their energy, keeping them in suspended animation by feeding them a pleasant simulacrum for real life. And the reason that the rebels fight against the Matrix in that movie, Neo, Keanu Reeves, the coolest dude ever, is because he wanted his life to have meaning. And the only way he could have meaning is to have a real life, not a simulated life.
Craziest coincidence of all. Dennis the Menace, the cartoon, was invented in England and in America on the same day.
What?
Put that in your pipe and jizz on it. Get that cooking. Oh, yeah, because they were like, oh, you must have stolen this. So they went back and researched it. They were both invented, same character, same name, on the same day and the same year.
That makes no sense.
Isn't that bananas? My brain blew up.
That literally makes no sense.
It's crazy.
How is that possible?
I don't know. Just, monkeys writing on a typewriter. Eventually you get Shakespeare. Two guys thinking of the same thing, same day, across the pond.
There's actually two completely separate Dennis the Menace comic strip characters that debuted almost simultaneously in 1951, created independently in the UK and the US, on sale the same day.
Unbelievable.
UK Dennis has black hair, red and black jumper. US Dennis, blonde hair, overalls. They live in different fictional worlds. Creators worked entirely independently. No evidence either knew about the other before publication. So it's treated as a famous coincidence rather than copying.
Unreal. There they are, side by side.
Definitely a good example, but not even the wildest one. There are many cases of people going to get patents that didn't know each other on the same day for the same exact invention that had no knowledge of each other. What did Michael Jackson say? I need to get to the studio before Prince does, and before he gets to throwing out low before I do.
The US fall?
Yes, sure.
And are they actively doing things to encourage that?
Yes, but not the things that you would expect. Instead of running around the world, overthrowing governments, invading countries, which is what we do, they go to countries and say, hey, you need a new highway system? We'll pay for it.
You need a new airport? No problem. You need a new hospital, electrical grid?
I mean,
we
that's
have
the way to
plenty
do
of
it,
money
right?
from our gigantic trade surplus. We'll pay for it. We just want to have really good, friendly relations with you. And that's what they do. The Chinese essentially own Africa. Right?
We should store right now. I'm going to show you like regular price tags. Okay, look. Paper, regular price tags. This is how much everything is. And then you come over here and look at these ones. That's a camera right there. So they're replacing all of the paper ones with those digital ones that they can change automatically, but they have a camera. And so my girlfriend was telling me that they use the camera to use facial recognition, and they're gonna link you to like your Amazon account, they're gonna link you to everything online, like everything that you have, and they're gonna change the price of your groceries according to who you are, that they recognize by your face, by your Amazon, by your Facebook, by everything. So if they see your spending habits and that you're spending more, your groceries are going to be more expensive.
The whole Hindenburg thing was an attack on Germany. Germany understood the old world. All the buildings in Germany were connected to the old world. Now, what's interesting about those blimps is they had bars, they had restaurants, they had dancing halls, they could carry all the USPS post office materials. These things were huge. They were all decked out. Now, if you think about how you travel in an airplane, they cram you in, they charge you extra for your luggage, and you can't even bring water with you because they act like you're... Even though they got rid of the blimps for the general public, the US Navy was still using blimps to chart out the world. And this is where, when you look at the old maps from the 1800s, where you see, you know, they have sometimes like an ice wall, or like even you can get into the flat earth and all of the domes and all of these things. You start to see this circle. You know, they show this circle in every single map. And that, I think, is really interesting because you have to be above to see that. And you would have to ask yourself, how can you chart all of this so perfectly? And all of these people can do it over and over and over again, unless you're up in the air. Because from down below, I can't see anything. I can see a mountain, you know, or whatever.
They're trying to tell us they're here, they're amongst us, whatever it might be. But it comes down to this tweet. So you got the missing
Egypt.
Every single map. And that, I think, is really interesting because you have in the air.
Pyramids be built today.
They can.
Why? So
they can, and they still are. They can, and they still are.
So why are we?
Niggas one in Memphis.
Man, you talking about our fucking glass?
No, one in Memphis. You think it's a game. You think they just toys. Why the fuck are they build them like that? Nigga, go to Vegas. Niggas won in Vegas. Why you think niggas gamble like that in Vegas? Nigga, the pyramids steady getting built. Nigga, they stole the technology, they steady building them, but you don't know you don't know.
Nah, I'm talking about the pyramids in Egypt.
They're the same pyramids.
The big block, the big ones that they can't build anymore, my
you
nigga.
don't get it. Yes, they can. Nigga. The first phone, how the first phone was big as fuck. It ain't the same phone no more. So you think the pyramids gonna look the same? You gotta use your brain, nigga. The pyramids is where they still at. You see them. Vegas, pyramid.
Nah, bro.
You think I'm crazy?
People are looking
You
like
think I'm crazy?
No, listen.
You want everything to stay the same? Everything's changed.
I see architects be mind blown on how they built that pyramid because they can't make it like
Nigga,
that no
the
more.
rain haven't even fell the same way twice. People always change shit. Everything was changed.
607 for you to be so deep and have so much value, leave that shock jock nonsense alone so we can get the real knowledge from you. That being said, that's the end of the compilation, Global Mafia. Let me know what your favorite conspiracy theory was, or your favorite truth to be exact. We have a conversation about it in the comments. Pop out the Intellectual Street Thoughts tonight at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Appreciate all the Global Mafia members getting the memberships. Y'all keep this channel alive. We're going to keep going down this road together. One person will never know everything, but as a collective, we're going to figure it all out. I am Cash, capital K, $ for the S.